are ending our first ever virtual advocacy day here in North Dakota with Everlasting Hope with a fireside chat with families from South Dakota Surrogacy. And you have seen these two beautiful faces before who are fighting to keep South Dakota a surrogate-friendly state. And so we're going to speak to them, and I'm going to give you guys just a quick summary and recap. So here in North Dakota, what you can expect from legislation is House Bill 1147, which is providing insurance coverage for infertility and fertility preservation. And I've had some wonderful questions come through today. This is for state PERS insurance, and then it'll come forward next session for commercial. So it still will heavily impact commercial in the next session, but because of a previous law that is in place in North Dakota, it has to run through PERS state health employee benefits first. So at any rate, this is still huge and important and moving mountains because it will come next session then for commercial insurance. And we will continue to work in the backgrounds with insurance companies. In fact, we are meeting with Blue Cross as Everlasting Hope this week, and we are presenting to their marketing department. So it's super exciting ongoing line of communication that we have with our North Dakota insurance companies to increase access to care on the back end. We are moving forward in a very positive fashion. We still need your stories, and we are connecting you with your district legislators so they can put a face and a name to infertility or fertility preservation. You can watch KX News from this morning, Studio 701. We were on that. We will be on tomorrow during their morning and regular news segments and sharing more on infertility. You'll be hearing from some patients as well. So lots of things today. We did like 3 news segments. We are hearing back from legislators. We put together an educational packet on infertility and fertility preservation for them. We are, moving forward in a great way here. You can check out our website, raisingeverlastinghope.org. We have an advocacy section there where we put all of these videos that we do. You're going to have the Resolve and Fertility Within Reach videos on our website as well. In case you or someone does not have Facebook, we always put them on our YouTube channel and then place them on our website. And with that, let's just quickly move in. I think we have made it clear what our North Dakota needs are. So let's hear from our South Dakota friends. And just to clarify too, even if you don't live in North or South Dakota, vice versa, chances are you probably know somebody who does. And even if they weren't directly impacted, our ask, I think, from both sides is to follow through with call to actions that we have, because you're speaking on behalf of those who may not be able to speak for themselves for various reasons. And so even if it's not you, you know somebody, it's 1 in 8 or 1 in 6, whatever number we want to use, that are impacted. So the easiest thing you can do is watch for these call to actions and then do them on behalf of those going through it. So give us an update. What's going on in South Dakota?
Yes, that's wonderful that you bring that up. I think that it's just so important for people to know that you have a voice. You know, our lawmakers are out there to represent us. And if we just, go about our day to day and don't get involved, you can argue that how can they go about their day to day? They need to hear from us and all things infertility and surrogacy, and really it's just important that we all follow along in our state's government to make sure that our voices are being heard and accurately represented. So that's what brings us to what we're doing right now. Families with South Dakota Surrogacy, we have come together with an amazing group of people, and we're trying to defend surrogacy in South Dakota. This week is our second week in our session. And so far, we have not seen the anti-surrogacy bill that we anticipate coming out. It hasn't come out yet. So going into this week, we are going to be looking for that. So we don't have all the details just yet on what the anti-surrogacy bill this year will look like and be pushing towards, but we have a lot of reason to believe that the contractual agreements between the gestational carriers, the intended parents, and the medical professionals will be attacked. And we know last year, the bill was worded in a way that it sounded like surrogacy would still have a pathway forward. And that is not the case. If these contracts are attacked in any way, Sanford will not be practicing surrogacy in South Dakota. So it is very important that if you've been following along with us, kind of stay tuned, and we'll keep you up to date. Because also you should know, we've actually hit pause on going forward with our preserving surrogacy bill just for the 2021 legislative session for this reason, because it is so important that all people invested in the surrogacy process, intended parents, surrogate, medical professionals, that all the stakeholders are on the same page. And we know that with these anti-surrogacy bills coming forward, that's not taking place. There's alternative motives happening, and we need to preserve South Dakota's voice and the beauty that surrogacy has been in South Dakota for 30 years. So going forward into this week, we haven't seen a bill yet, so we don't know the details, but stay tuned for that. But Lisa and I and some other members of our advocacy group are going to be in Pierre. Lisa, I think you believe you're going Wednesday, and I'll be joining her on Thursday. And we have a plan, or that's still in the works, but we want to set up an informational meeting for our lawmakers to attend in Pierre on Thursday evening. We still have to kind of nail down the location, but we want to hold this because we know that this vast topic, it needs many conversations, not just one, not just a quick one. There needs to be many, and a time for questions, comments, concerns. And so we're looking to set up that meeting with our lawmakers on Thursday evening. So overwhelmingly, we've had a lot of positive support this year in comparison to last year when we were starting at kind of ground zero. So we're very optimistic, but we also know that any anti-surrogacy bills coming forward, there's going to be a lot of room for questions. So we just need to continue these conversations with our lawmakers so that they feel confident in their stance. So Lisa is going to kind of talk about here how people who support us, people who want to see surrogacy continue in South Dakota and infertility rights in general continue. She'll kind of explain how you can join arms with us. So stay tuned for more details of the second week of session. So I'll turn it over to Lisa so she can talk about other support.
Elizabeth, you nailed it on the head when you stated that the legislators are here to represent you. We elected all of these senators and representatives to make the laws that we want and we need in the state. We have a voice, and they're there to make the laws for us. And so we need to make sure that our voice is heard. So we cannot be having any opportunity for legislators to be making bills and putting bills through because they have a personal point of view. They need to be representing all of their constituents, all of the citizens of their district. We do have a very good belief that there is a legislator from District 4 that'll be putting forth a bill to pretty much ban surrogacy. So if you are from District 4, or if you know anybody lives in South Dakota District 4, you need to be contacting your legislators and letting them know that surrogacy needs to remain in our state, that it is such a wonderful option for hopeful parents to grow their family. There is still adoption. There is still fostering. There is, foster to adopt. But we need to make sure that surrogacy is still an option because fostering and foster to adopt and adoption are not available for everyone. And it is not the right option for everyone. But surrogacy needs to remain because that is still a wonderful option for many, many families, including myself, including Elizabeth's, and countless other women and men across our entire state. So many beautiful children have been born in South Dakota and the United States because of surrogacy, and we have to keep that. So yes, do contact your legislators. Let them know that we're meeting Thursday. In addition to contacting them, we have still a great big ask for raising funds. Fighting this potential ban is going to cost a lot, not only of our time, because we need to make sure that we are there, but we also have some lobbyists and additional materials that we are printing and taking to promote, obviously, the truth of surrogacy. So we have many fundraisers going on currently. We have a course going on in Britain. We have a pull tab event going on in the VFW. So please stop, if you're in the Britain area, stop by, check out the pull tabs that they have going on in Facebook world. So online, of course, we have a Super Bowl oh my gosh, board. That's what I'm looking for. So if you would like to go ahead and be part of that, all it is $10 or $20 for you to get a square on the board. And then you have the opportunity to win some money with, of course, having some parts go to our wonderful charity as well for our nonprofit organization. And then our newest big opportunity that we have going on is we have an online fundraiser. So we are going to be having a fundraiser here February 12th and 13th, leading right up into Valentine's Day weekend. So many great opportunities for you guys to be able to purchase wonderful, there's going to be some hotel rooms, there's going to be some food from different restaurants in around the state. We're also going to have some very different activities. So wonderful things for you guys to be able to go ahead and bid on for our online auction. But of course, if you're interested in even donating, you'd like to have your company represented, feel free to reach out to one of us because we're happy to have you included in it. Because we know that there are so many wonderful people out there that are wanting to help, and maybe this could be some way for you to go ahead and join.
Awesome. Where else can they find you? Do you have a website, and what's your social media platforms that you're on?
Elizabeth, do you have all that?
Yes. Well, we're kind of in the transition of fixing our names and whatnot because we've gone from our advocacy group to the wonderful nonprofit that Lisa has founded for us. So Families from South Dakota Surrogacy is the transitional platform name that we're all working towards. I believe our Instagram is up to date and our Facebook is up to date. But of course, you can always reach out to myself, Lisa, Everlasting Hope, if you have questions on who you can get connected to as far as fundraisers go. And just if you want to get involved in some capacity, you can reach out on any of those social media platforms or just us personally.
Yeah, Families from South Dakota Surrogacy. There is Facebook, Twitter, and we have Snapchat.
Instagram. Mm-hmm.
Got them all. They're covered.
Is our Twitter page up to date though with our name? I'll have to check on that. I know Facebook and Instagram for sure are. So
South Dakota Surrogacy, start there because that's what everything is founded on, is really preserving surrogacy in South Dakota. But yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you, ladies, for joining us and helping us close out our first ever Advocacy Day. As always, leave questions in the comments or send us a message. We'll pass it on to the right person. Same with fundraising needs. And stay tuned. We'll probably hear from you guys again soon. And thank you for all the work you're doing in South Dakota, you guys. It's a lot of work, so thank you.
Well, thank you for all your support. We couldn't do it without you and your platform and with all your support as well. So it takes a village, right?
It does take a village. Helping each other out. That's what this is all about. And speaking for those and on behalf of others is what we do. Yeah. Thanks, ladies.
Thanks.